Hi, I'm Chris Vangelus Internet, and I am hosting a live stream for the first time in my entire life about pigeons. And I'm so excited to talk to you about pigeons. I'm going to whine about something first, but before I do that, hello. Long was here in GD Slalom, and Tonbot keeps zetting. V Rider, Oma Ender, Sports Peppers, Isaiah P, Army of Bees, The Gojira 93, Chris Muse 986, C Axsmith, Synthetic, Pacifist, you can't prove I'm anybody. Adam Rockmore, hello. So I want to whine for a second before I get into the live stream proper. I took 4 toys to the closest thing to a second-hand, highly relevant collectible shop in town, and it was 3 SH Fig Arts Star Wars, a First Order Stormtrooper, a P Bandai First Order Stormtrooper Riot Guy, and a P Bandai First Order Stormtrooper Heavy Gunner, and then a 52 Toys Mega Box Alien Xenomorph. I tried to not have high hopes, but I heard back today about what they were going to offer me in return. Now, this is 3 SH Fig Arts, 2 P Bandais, and a 52 Toys thing. I was kind of hoping to be able to sell them myself for a total price starting around 170 Canadian dollars. Then moving up and down as one does at a toy show. So I kind of was like, you know what? If they offer me like 120 store credit, that's cool. Anyway, I heard back today they are offering me $60 cash or $90 store credit. So I decided that I don't have a rush to attend to this speedily, but tomorrow I will call them and say, no, I'll just come and pick them up, thanks, because that is somehow not worth my time. And I'm like, anyway, this is like not a crime. It's just, boy howdy, I assume they researched the last solds, but like one SHF, two SHFs that are P Bandais that, by the way, I was not selling for very much, and a Mega Box thing. I was just like, oh. Although, if there had been $10 more store credit, I just would have gone for it. It was the sub 100 that really bummed me out. So, I'm gonna just, like, try to sell them at a toy show for at least 90 cash! It's the 90 store credit that also, like, really, like, got me. The 60 cash, I'm just like... Anyway, with that aside, we have some fun to do today. Oh, hello, toy guy. Yeah, I am trying to figure... There's one other place I kind of want to try out in downtown Toronto area. It's a pawn shop that seem to heavily accept collectibles, and I'm curious what they'll do. No, the fig arts are Star Wars ones. It's my three stormtroopers. I figured that they would at least activate some kind of seller neuron, but they did not. Anyway, we're gonna do something fun today, because I'm gonna open up a robot, and I don't care anymore. So this is a non-sponsored stream. You're not allowed to know who it is, but if you can tell through my high-tech censoring who I'm about to open up, it is something that I picked up, the one copy on Amazon Canada, sold by Amazon Canada. That was the part where I was like, so we're gonna crack that open. It's Gundam Death Scythe. Thank you. No, I know P Bandai doesn't matter, but these are people who are supposed to still react to it. When it comes to the kind of trade I was doing, I was like, listen, is this going to be worth my time or not? People like that will usually haggle. So the other reason why I don't really want to haggle is because they receive so much stuff that is used video game stuff that it already took me 5 days. They've never replied to an email I've sent, and then I dropped stuff off, and it took about 5 or 6 days for them to get back to me with this quote. So I don't think it's a useful expenditure of anybody's time to start trying to negotiate like an additional $10, because it might take another 5 days to hear back from them. I might as well just cut my losses on this experiment and just sell things the way I always have. Call them screen... No, they're not reviewed at all. They fall under my my funny thing of, like, I don't know what to say about fig arts anymore. This, however, I have lots of things to say about. I did peek inside the box before this stream, because this came off of being the one that was on Amazon. I had a feeling, and I was like, what if there's a brick inside? So I peeked, but there is a toy inside. So we're winning. Blah. Like, haggling is not like something that just comes to anybody. It's and especially like in someone's storefront, I think it's, you know, it can be a little bit different. It depends on, like, on the place, right? In a toy show, I would say, like, it's a little bit more it should be a little bit more open to haggle. And usually, if you wanna like dip your toe in, you just go like, hey, if I buy these 2 things, will you give me $5 off? And that's also a way to test to see if like a seller is worth speaking to. Because if you're like, hey, I was wondering, could I get $5 off these 2 things? If they refuse, it's fine, because it's like, no, sorry, the price is firm. If they like flip out at you, then it's like, get away from that table. I need to cut this stuff. Is the Firebird a brick? Hopefully not. I already have the brick Firebird back out west. Sonicong version. Put up a short detailing what type of hips. Well, isn't there like... Didn't they... I don't know. Because there's the Marvel Fig Arts team and the Star Wars Fig Arts team and the... Well, the Marvel Fig Arts team might be the Star Wars Fig Arts team. I'm like, also, I say team. It's just that there are demonstrably different groups that work on different types of Fig Arts. Like, SH Fig Arts has not been a line for a very long time. My hips are type 17, baby. Yeah, Alexis Silver, yeah, if you, like, grab 3 things and, like, round down to the nearest 5, like, that's even, like, that's almost like, is that even haggling, or is that just, like, I would like to save us both time on the math, right? Oh, I don't have any intel, it's just tactile observation. If you messed with SH Fig Arts in 2008, and then you messed with them in, say, you know, 2010, and then you messed with the Marvel ones and you messed with the Star Wars ones, they really don't resemble each other in some very key ways. To the point where it's like, it's really hard to, how do you put it? It's hard to handle that many of them and then start thinking, like, these are all made by the same couple of folks. It just seems unlikely. If they are, then, like, I am baffled as to how many different design identities were assumed throughout the process. Because some of those design identities kind of suck. TFA Cliff, you're still in Disney World. You're trapped and cannot leave. Get to the international soda fountain machines and camp out at the German one and just guzzle the mezzo mix. Don't let anyone... I want to reclaim the mezzo mix personally, and since I can't, I want to pass that duty on to you. Reclaim the mezzo mix. That's cute. Okay, the spare hands all come on their own little island. Is this taped? Do I have to snip a tape? Mezzo Mix is like a perfect fusion of orange soda and cola. The orange soda accentuates the natural tartness of the cola. Is it called Club Cool? I don't remember what it's called. I am a believer in orange mixed with cola flavor. Whenever there's a Coke Freestyle machine, I flip out. And then they don't have any orange available, and I go like, what's the purpose of this wretched machine then? Like, what is the purpose of a Coke Freestyle machine that I can't apply orange to the soda zero sugar version to? If I can't make orange Coke zero sugar in your Coke Freestyle machine, then like you have built a library that contains only benches. That's not to say it's like, you know, unwelcome if I want to sit on a bench. I just don't know why we built a whole library for it. Does a TFCon, does a second autograph by a guest count as an extra payment? I think it depends on the guest. Usually they lay that stuff out pretty clearly on the day. Like, you know, when you line up for your autograph, it's like X number items and whatnot. I don't really do that stuff, so I'm kind of like, I'm remembering secondhand, but I would say prepare for a second item to be a second payment, and then ideally it's a pleasant surprise, and it's like, oh no, it actually isn't. But I actually don't know. I'm gonna make a guess as to how this thing works. I'm gonna guess that I can stick this here. I did it. I won. Do you think if there was Club Cool in Disneyland Paris, they would have cheer wine? That's a good question. I just realized I have to pull this thing off because the anime physics mean that I can't move the helmet fins past the guns, because they don't seem to fold in. That's great, actually, because I think if they folded in, they would feel weird. Why do I call it a pigeon? The answers to that and more can be found on knowyourmeme.com. Search term, is this a pigeon? It's a little what do you call it? Stick up my rear buttock, not the front one. The number of folks who were using that meme many years ago and did not even know what Firebird was. And I'm only mad because I think Firebird is cool. The Is This a Pigeon show is a mecha... Yeah, this guy is the one in the picture! Like, he's, you know, this guy, technically. But he's the one in the picture who's saying, is this a pigeon? Clearly society has not done its work in properly getting this information out to the general public. Still, I'm going to have words with the president of memes. Is that... The president of memes has to have been a thing somebody did in, like, 2012 already. But, yeah, it is Firebird, is This a Pigeon show. Discotheque episode 3 is the... Thank you, Joel A. Adler. Episode 3 is the source. They don't even know it's from Firebird. That's me. We have one of those. He sounded... Yeah. Kevin Verspringen, I don't know if you heard me, like, trying to go, like, you know what? The word president has been, in its own funny way, perverted now. How do I kind of swerve my way away from that? It didn't work. But you know, I tried my best. And really, that's all that matters. Firebird's the series after X-Guys, right? Yes. He still says form up. I'm going to read the instructions, by the way, because, like, this is a good smile toy. I want to be a little careful with it, even though it is also my very first Godbrave studio piece. This is... Oh, hey, what's up, Rider Strike? I should figure out, by the way, if mine has the defect or not. So I guess we'll see. Oh, thank goodness. Those are some heavy but buttery detents, at least on this arm. Alright, so that one's fine. This one seems to be fine. Alright. We got over the hurdle. So for those who don't know, if you do pick up the Gutai Firebird, number one, yes, I saw earlier, for some reason, they decided to wait until I finally tracked one down to announce reissues of Firebird and Grandbird. The first run of the Gutai Firebird had a build defect that was not 100%. It was like... I don't know the percentage. I think it was sub 40% of them, though. Like, it was not the world's most common thing, but it also was not the world's most uncommon thing. Where... if you rotated this wrist cuff block, not the wrist itself, but the block, it's supposed to detent into position at these various spots. right? If it moved without detenting, that meant you were rotating the entire internal mechanism on the threading of a screw, which would eventually snap itself apart. Good Smile acknowledged this, and at least stated an intent to provide replacement parts if necessary. I don't know how that went, but there are also third-party replacement parts on eBay, and there are modification guides to fix a version of this mechanism that is too tight if you do have that being the case for your copy. The reissue should not have this issue because Good Smile themselves are aware of it and did successfully manufacture Firebirds that did not have the issue, such as this one right here. But, you know, keep that stuff in mind when messing with it. Tried to share the link, but it got... Yeah, if you Google Good Smile the Gatai Firebird, it actually shows up as like one of the first results, at least when I did. Oh, Emperor Nova, you did it. You had to mail the entire Firebird to them with a prepaid label they provided. They sent it back months later. That sounds like a bunch of buttock and ass. That sounds like just modified. The reissue will include the issue because it is a reissue. Yeah. We want to accurately represent our piece that we designed and made. Also, I have an errata sheet for the knees. I'm guessing this is something that will become obvious if I know to look at this while doing that. Taurus Oxford, it was easier to just mod it yourself to prevent... Yeah, because my understanding is if you knew about it and if you twisted it and it wasn't detenting, you disassemble it, sand down the peg, and then put it back on. Okay, Emperor Nova, I think all they did was sand down the mushroom peg on the inside. Yeah. It seems like yeah, if you know about it, then it is handleable. But obviously, someone had to not know about it to have people then know about it. Oh, I get it. Okay, so step number 1 if you've just opened this toy is flip the kneecaps down. The errata sheet says also pull the feet out. Alright. So I flipped the kneecaps forward, but then also pull the feet... Oh, I see. Ooh. That's nice. Sorry, I missed earlier. I think I saw someone ask if this was from Cardbot. It is not, but it is by the same group. It is by Godbrave Studio, who kind of demonstrably are very, like, Yusha Brave inspired. And much like Metal Cardbot, the Gatai started with Dugarn X. It also did Might Gain. Firebird is considered by most folks I have ever seen talk about it to be, like, the first real good one. Dugarn was a little bit janky and required, like, replacement hips at some point. Might Gain is, like, not bad, but is kind of, you know, feels a little bit funny still. Firebird, by all accounts, is like them hitting their dang stride, which one could say is the same for Metal Cardbot. Season 1 Metal Cardbot, the ones that United States of America citizens are now receiving domestically, totally fine toys, but, you know, they kind of feel a little bit like this is our first try, this is kind of janky. Season 2, massive step up. Season 3, demonstrably massive step up. Yeah, Gain's, Gain's biggest sin is probably the wide hip ratchets. Yeah, GD Slalom. One of the folks who I am referencing as far as, like, my ability to do English language research on this line, it is kind of hard to find English language coverage of this line, I've noticed. Not impossible, but kind of harder than I thought to find. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about Taki, I believe it's pronounced. Yeah, GD Salam, you get it, right? Yeah. Like, there's a lot of solid opinions on it. A majority of people who are collecting this line and can provide opinions on it do not create opinion pieces, nor is it their duty to do so. But but yeah, it is kind of difficult to find coverage. But yeah, for those who are into, like, Taki, right? This is by the same studio. I don't know if it's the same designer, because there seem to be, you know, multiple people working there, but it's coming from the same general studio. Oh yeah, no, I've searched. I've done a lot of the gatai searching to find the line. It doesn't help that there are also a lot of the gatai toys that are from 4S Gridman, and that they sort of dominate a majority of the search results. Alexi Silver, my time to shine. Then that's right. We're gonna take over the airwaves. We're gonna wrest control back and give it back to the people. I'm gonna take little dude here. Whoa, is that 2 joints? Okay, so this little guy. This is the guy from the meme. I have forgotten his real name because I have not watched Firebird properly. I'm one of those people who was into Brave in 1998, 1999, but only ever watched Gao properly. Anyway, this guy's got 2 joints, so you can have him thrust a little, and that's kind of neat. Yeah, good. Godbrave Studio, by the way, their website has a really good and updated constantly resume page for all the stuff they work on, and they've worked on Mini-Force, but did not do the recent Rex Kaiser that is, like, the Mini-Force toy that's dominating the airways. Anyway, he jumps in here and merges into the thingamy. How do you get him back out? I'm sure that will present itself later. Oh, it says right there. Alright, so you press here, push back here. Oh! Oh, that's actually really straightforward. It's a physical switch that just levers back and bops him back out. And you can see it flip forward there when I... See that little nub there? It's going to flip forward. Yeah. That's really nice. Wow, that looks so easy when you don't have long... Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah. So true. So true. Alright. The sword does something. It double folds, double joints, double... Can I just do it either direction, or do I have to pick a certain direction? I think I can do it either direction. I have seen a bunch of how this toy works because I've been obsessing over Godbrave Studio a little bit. So there's going to be surprises because I just don't encyclopedically remember everything, but I did know that this guy has a really slick bit of sword storage. But that just pops right in there. And then you slide the fin up. Mmm! That's delightful. Do you have Lockdown? I have a review up of original Lockdown from 08 that I put up in 08, I think. Are they your new Sentinel? A little bit. Nothing against Sentinel, it's just that nobody was... Godbrave Studio represents something that I've often wanted. That they're not the only ones providing it. Like, Toy Rise is also doing this, where they are focusing their high-end toy power on making a thing that feels kind of brickish and playable, but in a high-endy way, which I sort of appreciate. Like, these thigh swivels are clickety. I think that's just neat. Marge Simpson. The Simpsons. Dynabuster. Okay. Oh, I see. So now we're going to do the... It says here, it says Dynabasuta. So we're going to do the Dynabuster. Yeah, once upon a... Yeah, T-Rex. T-Rex and Chemical Attack I still get excited about. In terms of, like, piling articulation design into a body. But now we got these folks who are doing Brave stuff. Alright, so we flip these up. Oh, this is just him kind of like operating his own wrist cannons. Dynabuster! Hire me. Yeah, T-Rex and Chemical Attack are like, Chemical Attack do Kuro Karakuri, I believe. So like that recently revealed, announced Cyclonus, I assume, is coming from, like, they're the metal build team. Well, they work on, I should say, they work on metal build. I'm not going to call them metal build team. They're chemical attack. That is who the team is. Have you heard anything as to why Toy Rise is doing the Gao line backwards? I think it's just for a fun bit. I don't know. Actually, I have no idea. I think that it's possible to sort of reason out it's various like Genesik. I guess Genesik is a bit more of a like, yo, check out what we're doing kind of moment. I feel like Genesik is maybe a little bit simpler. Not simple. No, he's not, because I'm thinking about the shoulders. The shoulders don't have to thread through, but then everything else on him is a bit more complicated. So yeah, I don't know. I wish there was a little bit more Bandai-style documentary type stuff going up for various T-Spark projects. Wonder whatever happened to Half-Eye. I think the Studio Half-Eye dude is still operating. I saw someone talking somewhere about him showing something. It was somewhere on Discord. He was showing like a mechanism for a piece he's working on to have the faces swap internally or something. Or the heads swap, or the faces, I can't quite remember. What about the Bellerophon guy? I mean, that was T-Rex and Chemical Attack working on the physical toy. The art design of that, I think, was... I forgot who it was now. That was a whole team effort trying to launch a media property, and it all kind of, as far as I know, just fizzled out, unfortunately. Which sucks, because they had a lot of stuff, like, in the pipeline that seemed kind of cool. Alright. So I gotta move these up so we can deploy the Flare Missile. Ooh. This is a bit of a visual trick when this folds out, where you're like, where are all those coming from? And I just saw a clip of, it's like a full burst attack this dude does. Where he's like, pow. Brap, 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 brap. TL note, flare equals shin. Yeah, the Itano Circus is stored in the shins. Don Figueroa was the archer. Thank you. Yeah, it's now been long enough, like, I can't remember all of the non-toy stuff about Armorodders. Can the mech dab? Let's see. I just want to get him into a nice full burst squat. Quote me on that. You. Leave a comment with your favorite full burst squat position and why you would do it. Full burst squat was my favorite exercise. Remember the Unrustables? Oh, that one, yeah. That should have also been something. I think this guy actually can really do a good one. Holy moly. Hang on. We're going to get there in a second. Yeah, the Centaur Armorodder. They had all these, like, add-on things and, like little, like, partner mech pieces and stuff. And, it was so cool. Yeah, this guy can totally do it. Check it out. Like, the only major articulation that the Gatai, I think, in general, tends to not have is a waist swivel. Yeah, the Unrustables was a part of the Mass Toys disaster. I think it was mostly, like, collateral damage. But, like, what collateral damage? Yeah, Steer Toy, not Trash Toy. Heard you allegedly were friends with DJW. I mean, like, we just, you know, it's convention pals. We got along. Chatted on social media. It wasn't just me. It was a whole bunch of folks. Like, Derek Wyatt was just part of the fandom. highly opinionated and enjoyed the things he liked, and had the wonderful opportunity to actually like work on the thing that he thought was cool in a way that he was the most into. Friend of the podcast, yeah. The sculpt of the waist makes it look like he's still leaning in a bit. Yeah, I actually had a moment where I was like, did I move an ab joint on this guy? And I was starting to try to move it back. And I'm like, no, that's just the friggin'... That's just your sunrise snatch waist line art accuracy. The Mouse Toys thing, it was the thing that was like what had Mouse Toys shut down, and it's mostly an ugly... It's an ugly situation from many years ago that is kind of nobody's business anymore. Other than like it's a footnote to answer the trivia question of where did Unrustables go, and it's not even the entire reason. It's just like we lost some of the Unrustables in the mess. This is the Flame Breaster, also known, I guess, colloquially as the Flame Chester. Do I have a wish list for TFCon? I would like to get a very inexpensive HasLab Lyokaiser, and I don't want to do any work. I want to just stumble upon it in the dealer room and look both ways, and then just people keep walking past, and I go like, hey there, a $50 markup? Sure, here you go. I would also like to just have the money to pay for that manifest in front of me. That's kind of my main like the hope, really, because there were so many like barely marked up Deathsauruses for a while the year that came out, and I think still kind of from what I heard. I just want to trip over Lyokaiser, because I've had it come up where it's like, yo, you want to fight over Lyokaiser, and I'm kind of like, nah, like no, literally no disrespect to anyone. It's just like I don't care enough to actually want to like battle anyone for it. I want to luck bag my way into it. Trip over a bag of $500. Something that should happen to me more often, honestly. Oh, so yeah, if you don't... yeah, I mean, if anyone just, like, ends up not liking Lyokaiser and also doesn't break it while not liking it, I mean, like, let me know. If you're coming to TFCon Toronto. That's kind of my solution for... That's one of my solutions for dealing with FOMO, is simply manifest that I'll come across it in person. And if I don't, then I don't, right? Like... I'm going to Buso Gatai, by the way, so get ready. Like a cat. Yeah, exactly. I'm just doing things and then I got fed. Excellent. Boob Gatai. Also. Some of that the Gatai cool stuff. In order to accommodate his helmet, Firebird's little like winglets fold back. That's just cool. And we fold the shoulder pads down. That is from the anime. His shoulder pads go from up to down when he Buso Gatais. And then what? This just slaps down on here with these two pegs. I'm trying to put my shirt on. Don't look at me. I'm putting my shirt on. So this is going to click down here on his crotch, according to the instructions. Woo! Yeah, it did. And then we fold the guns down the back. Oh, that's cute. So they're like, fold the helmet up like this so you can Buso Gatai, but at the very end, they're like, anyway, unplug the helmet and put it on him. I like it, though. Okay, there's a slot. Yeah, the slot on the back of the head there. Goes with a tab. Then you get Busogatai Faibado, which is F-I-G-H. It's the Gao Faigar thing. I think it's meant to be like somewhere between fire and fight. Stylized. Perfect transformation for values of perfect. Exactly. Can this Firebird transform? What a good question. What an excellent question. Okay, so these are the small hands that are small and only lightly jointed for various reasons, who knows why. But they do show that they are removable in order to make use of these bigger, beefier hands so that you can have Firebird. Ugh. Oh, that's stiffy. That's stiffy. Get on there. Oh, that's... Ooh. Okay, there we go. Can't have Firebird go like... Drink your milk! The hand swaps on Firebird are so much smoother than on Mightgan. I mean, that was kind of stiff to get on. I'm a little worried that I might need to heat it to get it back off. Oh, no. Okay. I wish it wasn't... I know it adds a little bit of wiggle for articulation. I really wish that wasn't a small ball joint, though. I'm so much happier with just a solid swivel, and it's just a peg that goes on. Can we settle for water? Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, there's a bunch of different hands here. I'm gonna put the little ones back on. Good Smile Company advised heating the joint for might gain. Interesting. Only Great Firebird has pegs. Oh, dang it. For spring, and oh my god, I was considering getting a glass of milk. What the hell? I'm shaking and crying. Well, you know, that's Firebird. If you all would have just looked up where the meme came from, we wouldn't be in this position, you know? Anyway, I'm going to eject his funny little thing from his spine. And it goes like, haha. And then he can grab it. It's got exactly one slot for a tab. What is this? Oh, okay. That's for the big grippy hand. And then, yeah, you yell Flame Sword. You open the guard. Smack in a blade. And this is where I want to start figuring stuff out. Can I... Oh, that's kind of neat. Okay, so this holding hand has a cross shape in it. That's kind of... Okay, this is actually kind of cool. I'm going to pull this out now. So it's got a cross shape in it so that you can stick this in for chopping this way. But then if you want to do the Flame Sword deployment pose, it has another channel cut in it to go in this way. So you can hold it like this. That's really cool. It's like a plus sign is cut in there for the grip. That's a very keen little idea. That said, I'm a Kanzen Henkei kind of guy, so I might just leave this hand on for the most part. Very Double Z Gundam head complimentary. Yeah, I mean, the Brave designs were all Sunrise, if I recall correctly. Also, this dude can deploy cannon. Extend these when you're doing that. These click in? No, they just slide. Okay. Yeah, can Firebird Obari? That's the thing I want to know. Because he has no waist joints. There's going to be inherently a bit of a limitation on his Obarying. Let's figure it out. Because these can move up to give you a bit more room. And he's got, due to transformation, I believe, he's got a butterfly joint here. My opponent in Pokemon Champions scooped turn 1. Thank you, Vangelus. No worries. I'm here to wreck some wretched casuals on anyone's behalf. Speaking of wretched casuals, I've been having some good time with Flesh and Blood. They launched a new character with a full armory deck to launch all of her cards. It's Hala, the Blade Mom. She's basically a holy sword lady mom who is a living suit of armor, because she's dead, and then is now just a ghost in a suit of armor that has a face. And she's actually really fun to play. Will I be selling anything at TFCon? Possibly, but it's not going to be, like, in the dealer room. I'd be doing it just on, like, social media saying, hey, I have this and this. If you want to buy it, give me cash or e-transfer, please. Thank you. Ugh. So you can kind of Obari. It doesn't look bad. I don't think it's like a full proper Obari, but this is also his base form. Griffman. Great Firebird can Obari. I will remember this. Yeah, it's a B tier Obari. This is a base Obari. Can you look like you're dynamically ready to sword fight? If I put hashtag TFCon on my sales thread, does it count as having a dealer table? If you can get your stuff to TFCon so people can do on-site pickup somehow, you will have cracked the code. Okay, that rules. This pose looks so good in the shot. Like, it looks good in person. It looks also pretty good in the shot. I find sometimes a good pose in person doesn't always translate to, like, what the camera sees. Oh, he posted the official photo. Hang on, let me go check. Good luck with... Lexi Silver, I just saw your nails. I understand. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I don't want to do the reveal yet, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. So is this Good Smile's first foray into mecha toys? No, they've been doing the Gutai for a while. It was actually kind of like a, as far as I ever heard, sort of a mid-toy line until the Godbrave Studio design stuff started to go in, like starting with, I think it was starting with both Dagarn and the Gurren Lagann, like, Super Combiner. They also have done work on some Motoroid kits as well. Like, it's all on their website. Doesn't have a swappable blade. You can remove the blade. I think they've shown that they're releasing a display stand for Firebird and Grandbird that also comes with a swap-in, like, flaming sword blade piece. But yeah, Good Smile has been doing, they did a lot of, like, I think they did everything from Gridman and Dynazenon. And yeah, Godbrave did the Web Diver stuff in Motoroid. Was Godbrave Studio the Braver and Gutai stuff? Yes, it's on their website too. Like, the shorthand I was told, and I don't know this, I have no hands-on experience with Motoroid, but the shorthand I was given was if a Motoroid kit is any good, it probably is a Godbrave Studio one. But I don't know this from any personal experience. But yeah, Godbrave did the Braver and stuff. They've kind of, As far as I can tell now, the Guttai is Godbrave Studios' toy line. Like, I don't know that anything is coming out in it that isn't theirs. General articulation, by the way, yeah, this is a big thing I knew about thanks to other people sharing this. The outward hip ratchets on Firebird, that's the first click. That's real nice and natural. The first click on Might Gain, I believe, is more like this, and that was like one of the biggest problems folks had with the Guttai Might Gain, is he's either here or he's here. And it's fine, right? Like, it's not the end of the world, but it's kind of like, you know, dang it, right? Like, like I get it. Okay, here's the first click on. Hang on, I'm gonna actually. It's gonna be a bunch of work to switch scenes, but yeah, GD Slalom got me the shot. It's not as pronounced as this, but it's like in just a little bit. It's in between these two clicks, I think, is where you could say the Might Gain hip ratchets go. Yeah, the stance is like just awkward. Like, if he's doing stuff, it's like, okay, that's fine. But if he's just like chilling out, you're kind of like, yo, Might Gain, calm down. What are we trying to prove? I'm trying to prove that trains are cool. Spread gain. I will also say, just messing with this right now, plastic quality-wise, this feels pretty good. I understand that, like, Good Smile's plastic has also been a point of contention. This is interesting. This must be for transformation. It does not rotate the other way. I have to assume someone tried to twist this the other way and broke it somewhere in the world. It moves 90 degrees only with 2 detents. My knees also do that, yeah. True. I'm drawing lockdown, so just oppose. Leg spread. It's on my mind, I can't help it. Oh, here we go. Fire Jetto no Henke. Oh, dang, there's a spot on the stand for the little guy. Also, now that I took this hand off and put it on the ball joint, this is like a slightly squishy plastic. It ain't going back on that. It's not holding on that peg at all. Like, I don't want to drop the whole thing. It's on there super dang loose. Does the blade go in here too? Oh, it kind of does. It kind of rests in there. I gotta get this hat off of him. It's like a gigantic version of the Shotos. Yeah, just thinking that. Taurus Oxford, yeah, that happens. Hand's cup gets looser as you use them on fiber. That's unfortunate. Although, like, the big display stand add-on kit with the flaming sword piece, like, I believe that the big stand, like, has a shelf for all the hands to live in, so, you know, whatever, eventually. Flame Titan, I almost thought that tray was like a weird sprue, not something you put them back on. Oh, yeah. Dumb Jake, where the bird at? This is the bird! This is the guy who says, is that a pigeon? Spread the word! People still don't know enough. Not enough people know. This is the guy who says pigeon. How do you get his hat off? His hat is on there real stinking tight. Do I rotate this around and try to... Bird is the word. Oh, that actually worked. Let's flip his little eaglet winglets back up. Wiggle it carefully. The crotch clip, by the way, that was a joy unclipping it. That's what I want clips to feel like, where they just come off and they just stick on. This doesn't look like a bird. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hang on. We're getting there. I'm turning Buso Gatai Firebird's Buso Gatai back into the Flame Breatster. You gotta give me a second. It's like, it's as though folks don't even know this. Holy crap. Have you or have you not Buso Gatai today? And if not, why not? So here's the Flame Breaster. You can see that it actually has a little cockpit. This is a jet that flies around and stuff. Is my auto caption doing Buso Gatai as boobs so gatai? I wasn't looking. Buso Gatai. Who are busoing their gatai? All of us, hopefully. Oh, it's an intentional joke. Okay, I was like, listen, the auto caption can be doing anything. Okay. Boobs is so gatai. Busogate sepulpa! I'm going to eject the little man. We have deployed the nipple. So this says the nipple can stand here. I am assuming that's true. How? What did... Oh, I have to put him down this way? Does he sit? They're just showing the nipple man and they're pointing an arrow at this shape and like, pal, I need to know more than that. Show him on it. This go here. Oh, really? Cool. There should be a cockpit piece there. I just see a little T. He just sits on there. Okay. But how? His legs don't fit in the thing. I need to look into this later. You just gotta do it. True. He's gonna have a place to live anyway in a second, if I remember correctly. So we're gonna yank down this bit. We're gonna do some good old-fashioned hand hidey, which is how they hide away in the anime, if I recall correctly. I thought the back tab went in the thigh gap, but no, I was right there with you, Synth. But like, these two little blocks are fouling up the process, unless he sits this way. We did it, Synth, we did it. It was just us. This is how he sits. It's in the thigh gap! The famous Thigh-bird thigh gap is how he sits on the display stand! Why is Pigeon Guy gold? He's skinned when he's gold. He skins himself and then turns into a nipple. That's how Firebird goes change Firebird. So I think my hips were thrust too far. I had them forward. They got to go back here. Ahem. I said more like Thigh-bird. I know. Synthetic passive is Firebird, more like Thigh-bird. Hey, whoa! Settle down now. I'm just abusing my position of inherent power in the streamer to viewer power dynamic. It is toxic of me, but I am at least self-aware, which is half the battle. This is beautiful. Right here. It's a word bubble! This, it actually say click! Oh! Okay. That was good, that was good. Mmm! My favorite Adam Sandler film. Another great episode of Firebird, by the way. Click. It's featuring Adam Sandler. Featuring, not starring. He's not Firebird. Tasty click. Mmm. And these move outward. Ooh, that's cool. Let's see if I can better share that with y'all. And now he's in gun turret position. Oh, now we use the QC joint. Yeah, by the way, for those just joining, the first thing I did was check the cuff rotation. Both of mine detent. So I have a successfully assembled the Gatai Firebird. For those who have had wonderful times with HasLab Omega Prime, this was not a made-to-order piece, so it's inherently a bit of a better experience, but this had an acknowledged and not 100% present manufacturing error in some copies, where that cuff rotation did not detent, and if it was not detenting, that's because it was instead rotating on the screw thread that holds the entire detent assembly in place, and that's bad. Do not move on your screw assembly. This closes up nice and proper. Now, what am I unfolding here? These here? Oh, I like it when a toy has... I love it when a toy does this. Look at that. Mmm. My sources are telling me that's bad. Thank you, Dumb Jake. Dumb Jake World, by the way, coming from outside the world of both the Gatai and Brave Yusha. And if Dumb Jake is reporting that from Dumb Jake sources, that means that we have additional scientific mathematic proof. Because that's 2 sources, which is more than 1. You can quote me on that. You're about to do stuff with his chest that genuinely blew me away the first time. Here we go. Let's flip out this little winglet thing. Oh, it's on like a soft D10 too. That feels so good. Also, for those who don't know, the Gatai Firebird, this is made by Godbrave Studio, who you may know as the people who also design Metal Cardbot. Much like Metal Cardbot, this was their third main Yusha the Gatai design. And much like the 3rd season of Metal Cardbot, this is a massive step up from where they started. Just like with their Cardbot thing, Godbrave Studio shows immense growth the more they get to do something. By the way, Godbrave Studio, for those who don't know, are extremely clearly inspired by Brave, which this was the 2nd series of. So, this is Godbrave Studio working on the thing that they are really big nerds for. You said my activation phrase. Excellent. Activate the Jake! We must activate the Jake. Also, check out those thigh rotation clicks. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. It's pretty good stuff. And this is where the one click. This is a 2-click ratcheted rotation that only moves in this 90-degree window. Yeah, I don't mean to say, like, by the way, only get the newest card-bought stuff. It's just they are a studio who seem to improve immensely every year they keep doing something. I said this review, bought 2 of them card bots from BBTS, Steelhook and Helicopter, skipped Cop and Heavy Iron because I know they have better toys later. I mean, yeah, card bots just going to become, I think, a line that you, if you like what they're doing. The beauty of Metal Card Bot right now is there are at least going to be 3 years of it. So, like, if you end up running out of toys... Oh my god, sorry. Let me finish my thought. If you end up running out of toys you're interested in, I feel like back collecting Metal Card Bot, if you're really into that line, could just be a fun thing to do in the long term, right? Anyway, stop everything for a second. Listen to this. Alright, well, here we are. This is who we are now. So we're going to do the same thing with the other leg. Ratchet joins the nerd pacifier. Can I go back to my open heart surgery now? Fine! Fine. I thought I had the support of the people. If we're gonna go and friggin' save lives. Oh, this looks like something really... Sorry. I'll finish my bit. If we're gonna go having the support of the people and saving lives, etc., etc., I didn't actually have a thought to finish. This motion looks like it's gonna be really cool. The whole thing! Oh my god. Okay. Oh! Okay. So these hunks here on the inside of the shoulder butterfly assembly have an entire giant brick-shaped divot to live in right here, it looks like. And a 3-pronged tab that has a slot right next to it. Oh, that's sick. That's disgusting. That's beautiful. Yeah, the chest is a giant plank. Oh, it just goes together! Oh yeah, I should say, I also heard, I'll paraphrase what folks are talking about in the chat. Apparently Samji is, I believe that's how you pronounce it, they very much want to accelerate the release of Cardbot Season 1 and 2 in the USA, so that the USA is caught up by the end of Season 3, so they can sort of simul-release, I think, is the idea. Obviously, you know, plans can always change, but that sounds like the one last remaining thing I had to say about it, which was maybe, you know, why you might just go to AliExpress if you're really impatient. Sounds like they want to get caught up. If that does happen, that's pretty dang cool. Not as cool as having them be available in Canada without having to import them, but cool stuff is still cool stuff. Okay, so now that we've done all this, we flip the side hip skirts back down, flip these parts back. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Beautiful shape! Alright, so up here we're gonna do some stuff. These tiny thin pieces. I'm gonna flip over to gap fill and release this trap door, I believe. Oh no, first, okay, so those flip over to gap fill that, then this whole thing flips down to be a vent. That's baller. Okay. Then we go trapdoor. Hey, do you like the Transformers? What if there was a big trapdoor that you rotate a head into? And there you go. And I believe... Oh, look at this. This is a beautiful moment in an instruction sheet. Check this out. Check this out. 1. It's a click. Ba-doink. You're done. Don't put the no scope on. It looks better this way. Is this gonna have a beautiful click when it goes up? Oh, it's gonna say click. Oh, whoop. It was a buttery click, so it wasn't a loud, like, loud clack click. There you go. Hang on. It's a knuckle click. We can put it right by the mic here. Oof, 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 oof. I think you should have left the head. Okay. Let's be respectful to Busogatai Firebird, thank you. So this is the fire jet. Is it beautiful? Yeah, it is. It's big, too. Big swishy. It's a big swishy. Oh, baby. Alright, do you like Macross? You like Macross? Hang on. Pop a trap door. Flick out. Hang on a second. There's no way. There's no way. I think that's die-cast. Hang on. I'm gonna wipe my mouth on it. That might be die-cast. I'm not licking it. That was a bit. That was a bit. Don't lick your toys. They could have lead on them. Also, do you like Macross? Sniff the landing gear for free? It's disgusting. What am I talking about? Oh, I think I have to leave these doors open. Those are... That's a shared axle single piece wheel. Okay. Freewheeling, though. Lick your toys, he's not a... I am not a cop, that's true. Definitely lick your toys, they're delicious. What are we doing here? What are we doing? I think you can put the little guy in the cockpit. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so... There is a cockpit. The front slides up, opens. The back opens. Right? Yeah. And then there is a little cockpit inside, but it's too small for the nipple man to live in. So if you remove the cockpit, you get a duplicate of that funny shape from the display stand. And the nipple guy's joints are making this difficult. But yeah, there he fits in there, and I think you can close this. Yes, you can. Now the little nipple guy is in his fire jet. Ah, eesh. Ow. Didn't chip a nail, but I got like a scrape on my nail. So this thing now can live on the display stand, right? This thing doesn't have a thigh gap. How's it going to live on the... Whoop. Come back here. Come back here. Excuse me for a moment. I have to go to the tunnels to deal with something. I'm back. So, can this live on here? It can! Okay. So you do have full bits and pieces storage on this funny little stand. That's neat. I missed you. I missed you too. That's not all, though. What if you wanted to take your fire jet and dock your flame breaster on top of it? Have I got good news for you? What part is doing the docking? Okay, here we go. As I said, what part is doing the docking? Here we go. As I said before. It's right there. That spot there. Now you've got some fully Busogata'd breasting fire jet. Why would I want to do that? I mean, look, everyone's got their medical needs. And now there's, after all of my sussing, there is a photograph of how the display stand works. After all my sussing and fussing. And that's the instructions. I want to turn this guy back into the Yusha of Sun Firebird. Ooh, I should also check the... What are we posting? What are we posting? What are we posting in here? Oh yeah, the Firebird footage. Let me get out my spare window and see if I can drag some stuff in here. Now that we've done the transformation, let's do a little bit of share and care. Share some of the things. In the VStream Alterna Chat channel, we got a whole bunch of pictures I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share everything with toys in it, is what I'll do. Breasting a boobily. Alright, let's pop over to the browser. By the way, if you want to buy some stickers, but not for this toy, because they don't make any, but if they make some for a thing you do not only have, but want to put stickers on, and it's from Toy Hacks, this month you can use the completely legal coupon code Creamy Vangelus for 15% off. We've gotten a lot of feedback on Creamy Vangelus. Can we put stickers on pigeons? If you can actually pull that off, then go for it, I guess. Just, like, don't cover their breathing orifices. Have I told you when I was a kid I thought you were actually famous? I asked my mom who you were. You set me up to say something real crass just now. And I'm not gonna. And I don't think that was on purpose. But, that's very adorable. Thank you. What does the code do? Well, if you use code CreamyVangelus at checkout, it is for 15% off your order, valid through April 2026. That's a year. The Treasoner, when I was a kid. Oh yeah, Jake did just try to assassinate, like, at least 25% of the chat. Holy crap. The internet did you know, okay, so a little personal lore, by the way, while I hit these photos. Did you know that until about a day or two before I filmed my very first YouTube toy video, I was gonna call myself Internet Celebrity Vangelus because that was a year-long in-joke between me and some friends at BotCon on the TFW boards. I got to a BotCon and just... It was in BotCon 2007. 7 or 8, one of the two. I think 2007, because I was later in the... Anyway, I had gone to Japan in 2007, where I had been recognized by one of the Japanese dealers who came to BotCons every year at his store, and it was a funny moment. So, we spun it into a bit where I was a global celebrity being recognized in other countries, because we thought it was funny. And so when I was going to start doing YouTube videos, I thought that the bit I'll do is I'll just present myself as Internet Celebrity Vangelus. And then a day or two, or an hour, or a minute before I recorded, I was like, you know, calling myself Internet Celebrity might be a step too far for people who have never met me before, and it could lay out a road of tone that maybe is not... And this is funny that I was thinking about this when I was, like, you know, 24 and stupid. But I had the wherewithal to go, like, maybe I shouldn't call myself Internet Celebrity. But I almost did. Watch your tongue, we have a wee kid in chat. Anyway, that's my story. We got some pictures here. Here is the Gatai, Might Gain and Firebird next to Toy Rise X Kaiser. That's actually a very apt comparison picture. And you can see there, that is Might Gain's hip click posture. It's just a little wide. It's just a little weird and wide. Here is this is from Alexis Silver. This is just a bunch of toys with some the Gatai and a Titan from this year. and an SS-86 who's having a sip. Here's an Obari pose on something that maybe I'll be talking about in a week or so. Brought to you by sponsor. Here is that swap-in blade piece that comes with the display stand set they're putting out. So that's the doing the Hisatsu attack dealy. I think we got another, yeah, here's another shot. This is from GD Slalom. This is, again, might gain with base hip click out. Again, as you see, it's like, it's not bad. It's just like, it's just a bit much. It's kind of like, huh, I would kind of like to put that in halfway. Oh yeah, Glux Blurt, new sponsor. You can see in my shorts, I have done one video for it's a 2-video dealy, but it's JP Fans. We've got one video in shorts where I'm describing a service. I kind of hinted something. And there will be a follow-up video when an item arrives. Kime Waza mode. Yeah, we're out there, we're doing our big stock footage. We're pointing at something because something's about to explode. Here's another demonstration of the click. So yeah, it's like, you know, it's not bad. It's just, it's a bit much. It would be cool if there was an alternate ratchet that you could stick in there that don't click so much. I would like to put that in halfway. I did say this. You got me. Activate the Google Doc. And here I believe we have the Firebird footage, care of Griff. So let me turn the audio down so I don't blow out your ears, because I actually have this turned up for them. Oh, we can't tell them about this one. We can't tell them about this one. You can't know about this. You're not supposed to know about Trinity. Anyway. You said that with the same dang tone. It's because friggin'... Ugh. It's because of Twitter. Okay? Dumb Jake gets it. It's because of It's because of notable, terrible now website Twitter. The people had Google Docs dropped about them just in time for people to also be watching the Minecraft movie too much. And thus, there is this phrase that is, I call it a Twitter exclusive, which is Google Docky. I went, yeah, I saw Jake. Jake is, I want actually to take a moment to applaud our Jake, who went Twitter cold turkey, which I know can be difficult. But I appreciate it. Take it easy, GD Slalom. Which Trinity? I mean, you're not supposed to know. Producer Shirakawa said that we don't know. Flip out just the robot head and stand the jet up. Doable. It was like the chains breaking meme. Actually, another silly Twitter moment you're not supposed to know about Trinity. Change Firebird! I'm gonna get you. Ha! Tja! Oh! Tja! You ever watch anime? Best mode. Thank you. I put a lot of work into it. This thing tabs back here. Sorry, the nose cone has a tab slot to go into. I didn't realize that. Alright, so now we gotta flip this thing up. I'm gonna try to do this from memory because I'm really cool. We detach the leglets. Yeah, Waveside in Reverse has it. Someone was asking... You're not supposed to know about this. Someone was asking producer Shirakawa... I hope I get it. Now I can't remember if I forgot his name, because I'm seeing producer and then just continuing. But there was some accessibility on Twitter to a producer. Yeah, don't worry about that. Who was starting to get asked a lot of questions, and then at some point, you know, there was a whole thing with a funny podcast, and it all came from Twitter. It was Twitter's fault. Isn't this why Toei hates it? Well, the thing is, producer Shirakawa doesn't hate us. He believes. And he personally likes me too, even though I've never messaged him in my entire life. Honore Tsuita! It would be with a tsui on the beginning. Oh, was this on Yeah, the only Brave show, yeah. There was a Gao Gaigar dub, and they only dubbed the first half, and then the budget was cut off. They released the rest of it with subtitles still. It's on Crunchyroll if you want to watch it, along with the epilogue OVA. But the dub is tragic, because the dub hit its stride right before it was canceled. And one of the Venture brothers played Guy, and was actually doing a pretty damn good job, in my opinion. Yeah, it actually was Zeo Trinity. Yeah, it was during Zeo. Don't move forward. You're not supposed to do that yet. Like, I know, Jake, you're one of the folks who has recently got into Kamen Rider and Tokusatsu stuff, and let me tell you, you missed a bunch of stuff, but you didn't miss anything. Actually, it's better this way. Yeah. Toku Twitter was always kind of a disaster, as far as I've ever seen. It was an interesting experiment, and I'm glad we did it, but it didn't turn out. Oh, yeah, it's worth noting, Gao Gaigar, if you have photosensitivity, Gao Gaigar does not know what photosensitivity means. It's the show that they actually should have put into, like, the definition of the Porygon incident. I don't think Vic was in the dub cast, no. Dean Venture was, as the main character, which is pretty baller. And I think that the deep voice version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the Chief. Do I like Auto Trooper? I do like Auto Trooper. Yeah, even if you're not photosensitive, like, I don't really feel anything bad when I watch Gao Gaigar, but I didn't know that could be a problem until more people on the internet started to get more access to Gao Gaigar, and I started to watch friends and associates and acquaintances start to go like, wow, my head hurts. Wow, my eyes are watering. It just never occurred to me, because, like, I watched Gao Gaigar even, like, back in, like, the early 2000s. And maybe it's because I was also watching fan subs off IRC that maybe weren't transmitting this as accurately, but, like, I never realized how, like, the visual brutality of the, the villain scenes in Gao Gaigar. I never realized until, like, the last couple years, because it didn't happen to me, and I didn't really know that many people who saw it. Yeah, like, you don't have, it's not literally like you're gonna have a seizure and, you know, binary state and/or. Tons of people just get headaches from watching Gao Gaigar, and I never realized that until, like, this decade. I'm like, wow. It's just one of those things where I lucked out. It's like 3D movies, when 3D movies in theaters was a much bigger thing. They didn't do a single thing to me that gave me discomfort. So initially I was like, well, dang, that's great. I get to experience this neat new visionary technology. And then 90% of it was used in the most boring, phoned in, or like straight up invisible way possible. And then I was like, well, this sucks. At least there were like 3 movies that did it in a way I thought was really cool. And so when it went away, I was kind of like, yeah, I mean, I guess I feel something was maybe lost, but only because I can't rewatch it at home, I guess. The 3 movies, by the way, were Avatar 1, the one in the train station, and Dread. And I guess as a number 3.5, Pacific Rim 3D, because it was a very well done 3Dification. Guillermo del Toro forced a lot of money to be spent. Hugo, thank you so much. It's called Dread 3D because Dread's name has 3 Ds in it. Oh, yeah, we forgot to free the nipple. Yeah, I liked you. I mean, Hugo is about Georges Méliès, which made me really like it as a bit of a surprise. I didn't know anything about it. I just heard that it was filmed... Back when I cared about this, my whole thing was if I heard that the movie was actually filmed with the 3D camera, then I was interested. Because then the 3D was quote-unquote real, in my opinion. And Hugo was one of the ones that used the 3D camera with, like, the multi-lenses. I wish I got to see some of the Kamen Rider movies that actually use the 3D lens setup, or 3D camera setup, the multi-lens, whatever. Because I heard from, I think it was Paul Egadevil way back on, like, a Henshin Justice thing, that, like, it looked really good in a theater. But you had to be in Japan for, like, a month to see that. Oh yeah, Fury Road had a 3D showing. But yeah, that was, aside from the part where it also caused people to have like debilitating motion sickness and whatnot, the real shit. The more shallow, the more like me shame about 3D films was the sheer number of them that were simply post-produced to have a lot of 3D in the first and last 10 minutes, and then you'd spend most of the film going like, why am I wearing these stupid things? Nothing's happening. Oma Ender, 3D lens Kamen Rider movies were cool. I saw them. Yeah, I heard that they were great. Like, because they actually, like, I saw in the making of, they actually used the cameras, and I'm like, man, I would like to see that. Yeah, Zimman. That was my favorite part about Hugo, was realizing who it was about, and I was like, yeah. But yeah, like, as another example, like, I saw the first Thor movie in 3D, and it was a complete waste of an extra, like, $10, because they made the first 10 minutes really heavily 3D post-produced. The end credit sequence, really heavily 3D post-produced. The middle, everything else, nothing. And I was just like, it was a bummer. Georges Méliès is, in my opinion, one of the most important pioneering filmmakers of the medium of filmmaking. Was a magician and stage oriented actor, filmmaker type. Well, playwright, I guess. Anyway, one of the first people who really experimented with the medium of motion media. A lot of, like, classic Vine edit tricks that people were kind of naturally discovering themselves, for the most part, were invented by Georges Méliès, or at least likely pioneered by Georges Méliès. He did famously the short where, like, a rocket flies into the moon, and the moon is a guy with makeup on, and the rocket hits him in the eye. Georges Méliès has a lot of really cool stuff when you watch it and realize that he is literally one of the first ever doing this. He had justifiable beef with Thomas Edison, true. Yeah, Trip to the Moon. Yeah. I always forget the name. I put a lot of work into remembering that his name is Georges Méliès, because I would mess up the last name for a while. Yeah, the grandfather of special effects, the original tokusatsu. He's a guy who was filming with the very first motion cameras and went like, hey, what if we do a jump cut to have like something disappear or reappear? But then you got to think to yourself, because nowadays you're like, oh, a jump cut where I'm holding this, cut the camera, put it down. Oh, my toy disappeared, right? It moved here. We have a point of reference for this. So I think it's really interesting to consider when no point of reference existed. I felt this way when I saw the George Fleischer Superman cartoons in an academic sense the first time, where they were the very first time someone was envisioning the notion of Superman ripping a wall apart, for instance, or bending, something that he shouldn't be able to bend. And like nowadays we kind of, we know what that's supposed to look like in a couple different ways, but we have existing points of reference, right? And I think there's something so fascinating about the simplest of special effects or filmmaking ideas when they were done with none of those, if not very few, none of those points of reference. The Fleischer Superman cartoons, they're everywhere. I do highly recommend them as an academic viewing, but also because they are kind of beautiful to look at, like very well done pieces of animation. That's also why Citizen Kane stands up, in my opinion, is it uses a lot of amazing filmmaking techniques. The opening shot of that, where the camera comes in on a building and then goes over the building, then goes down through the window on the ceiling of the building into the set inside pretty dang smoothly, right? And then you look at when Citizen Kane was made and you're like, how the hell did you remotely even consider how to assemble that shot? And I think that stuff is absolutely fascinating. Anyway, what a better transition from that to then say, Flame Breaster! And then we do some Buso Gatai. I have lots of heavy opinions about why it's important to look at cool old stuff. I forgot his flanks. I can see them right here. That's disgusting. Don't tell anyone I did that. Oh, now he's got that snatch waist. There we go. Thank you, Simman. Thank you. But yeah, in case you're like, it's pretty normal to come into the world and go like, well, I'm not watching Citizen Kane because everyone says you should watch it and it probably is boring and sucks. I think it's still really worth looking at, like, as a visual piece. There's some amazing visuals in that film. But also, if you watch Citizen Kane, then you get to say, I'm Charles Foster Kane. Do you know who I am? I'm Charles Foster Kane. I'll see you in Sing Sing. You hear me? Sing Sing. Sing Sing. And you get to make the reference. And then people are like, ah. 12 Angry Men. Also friggin' good-ass movie. 12 Angry Men is a really cool movie. That was another one that I saw academically, and about a third of the way in, I went from going like, all right, we're gonna watch this movie, here we go, let's just assess it, and then like a third of the way in, I was like, ooh, you're doing something. Really cool bottle story, bottle episode of a film. Such a shame, unfortunately, that we can't have that one ab click forward to get the Obari thrust, but I have not seen Rope. I saw a Rear Window way back and I liked it a lot, but that's partly because I really like oh my god. You know who I mean, the lead actor of Rear Window. He's Hound. A guy who was he was burying something in his lawn. I saw it I saw it myself. Oh, Jimmy Stewart, thank you. Oh my god. This happens to me with Willem Dafoe every, like, 14 months. Where I suddenly forget both of his names. He's also in Rope. Okay, I gotta see Rope. I gotta do right by Jimmy. In Bill's house! At Fred's house! Personally, I unclick the sliding hip joint, push it against the skirts, feels more natural and Buso Gutsai. Let's give it a try. Because I think I did that unconsciously before. Yeah, that does actually feel better. Still can't do the click back, but... Have you seen Eggers' Nosferatu yet? Yes. Yes, I did. I liked it quite a bit. Saw Metropolis mentioned, Skysu. Yeah, Metropolis, you know what? Metropolis, pretty cool. Even if you don't, like, properly watch it, like, I'd recommend it. It's an interesting experience, but, like, Metropolis is like... Oh, don't leave it floating between the detents. Oh, I see. I get what you mean, but also, I wanted to do the noise. Even if you don't really feel like watching all of Metropolis, I would recommend, like, you know, look into the film and watch bits and pieces of it with regards to how much of the film was salvaged and regained over the years. It's a fascinating story. Also, watch, it's because it's out there. Try to find, I have a YouTube link for it. I gotta see if I still have it bookmarked. There's a really solid copy of original Nosferatu on YouTube that uses the real, the good names, not the Dracula names. And it's a pretty solid transfer. I quite liked it. And Nosferatu is also a pretty neat movie. The OG. Briefly confused Metropolis and Megalopolis. Very different films. Extremely different films, yes. One of these days I'm going to watch Megalopolis because I'm curious. And I had a friend who liked it, and was not weird about this, but just liked it. And I'm willing to give it a shot. I want to see the Herzog one. I haven't seen it yet. Verspringen, Metropolis is in a much more complete state now than it was when I was born, and I think that's beautiful. Yeah, every time something is like there was recently a Georges Méliès short discovered, just like this year, and that stuff always makes me so happy. Like new things from people who, like, for lack of a better term, are not in a position to release new things, right? Like, because they're dead. I think that kind of stuff is really cool. I'm gonna do some full Bosto. Some full Bosto. Full Bosto! Herzog's Nosferatu is this neat thing where there's not a ton of scores, so the soundtrack is a lot of subtle ambient sounds. Ooh. Like, for me, the big lost media thing that I want to find out, right? Did the unblurred Hokuto no Ken film footage actually ever exist to be found outside of what made it on the Italian version? Or is this just too much internet for too many decades? That's what I want to know. Like, demonstrably, animators did animate a dude's brain getting blasted out of the front of his face, but, like, did the unblurred versions ever actually be viewable anywhere? Oh, this is so friggin' cool. This is so friggin' cool. I mean, another lost media thing. I mean, it's a little bit of recency bias, right? But like, I hope a work print of Batgirl is out there somewhere on someone's hard drive. It's not even like, damn, I want to see it. It's just like, I would like for it to exist. The people who worked on it seem quite passionate about it. Same for Scoob 2. I hope it exists somewhere on a hard drive. Because, like, obviously, it is a bad feeling to know that, like, there is some stuff that no longer exists because it was written over, it was melted down for material, it was set on fire, etc. But, like, there's something so specifically vulgar about the idea that films that were in production this decade were deleted by some low-brow, vulgar CEO puddle. There's something really offensive to me about that. Because that is done in a world where we know about all the things that happened to pieces of media from way back. The Acme film, yeah, the Acme film is coming out. The trailer dropped, was it today? It's now owned by, what is it, the folks who put out the last Looney Tunes film, Ketchup Productions, Ketchup Studio. But yeah, the Acme film is saved. So, you know, there's a silver lining to all of this, at least a little bit of a silver lining. Ketchup Entertainment. I said every word except the right one. Sport Papers. I think I mentioned this back with X-Kaiser, but dang, he's got that dynamic X shape going on too. Yeah, just these sunrise lines everywhere. Oh, yeah, and one of the cool things about the... sorry, I'm just catching up. One of the cool things about the way that they are marketing Coyote versus Acme is that they are using that story about the film as part of the marketing now, and they're fictionalizing it slightly as, this is the film Acme didn't want you to see. And then there is the phrasing from Acme's side, which is that, you know, this is a legally obligated release of a film that is absolutely inaccurate in its depiction of our products and services. It's a really great idea. I wonder if Dagarn X has anything X related with him. I wonder. They're going even deeper. They're saying Warner Brothers itself is a subsidiary of Acme. I mean, that's pretty funny given, like... given everything going on with the various studios attempting to devour one another. Attempting to do the opening of The Amazing Digital Circus Episode 8 each other. That's right! I'm up to date with another piece of new media! I did it. Doing some toy hacking while watching stream. Good stuff, good stuff. Yes, this is the Gatai. I'm really into it. It feels super cool. Like, this is not a bright side. This is just, hey, at least, quote-unquote, right? WB, everything you love about WB might just be in the possession of other entities sooner than later, right? They're all but abandoning Looney Tunes, which is still a weird friggin' thing to say. Not like I'm like, damn, but I want Warner Brothers to... The Warner Brothers should own the Looney Tunes, but it's just like... Warner Brothers has more or less abandoned Looney Tunes. Like, the... weird thing to say. Other entities. Yeah, I'm using the word very specifically. You should buy Evolution Toy Firebird and Grandbird to do a comparison video. I don't want to! I looked up how they work, and I don't want to. it's really, if you ever just want to like do ya spoilers, right? You go look up how everything works for this toy and Grandbird and the Great Firebird thing for the Gutai. Then go look at how Evolution Toys works, and then go look at the part where Evolution Toys also are like more expensive, and it's just like, holy moly. Does 2 kilogram Great Firebird not appeal to? I mean, I guess. Well, low-key, what I'll say is, because I was looking on Mercari a lot for sponsor reasons, and I saw the Evolution Toy stuff, and then I kind of corroborated this with some listings on Mandarake, and it's like, I only know the Evolution Toy one is more expensive because y'all told me. Because on the aftermarket right now, it certainly isn't more expensive. Like, it's cheaper to get on the, at least it looks like, but I'm guessing shipping will, if it's 2 kilograms, the shipping will be a bummer. Are Evolution Toys Bandai Chogokin or X-Transbots in this context? I wouldn't commit to this, but off the cuff, I would say they are X-Transbots in this context. Their stuff looks like, it's a bummer to look at. You know what? Why don't we, final feature for today. Let me go drag in some footage. There it is. Let's go on a journey. Can we do this one? We're gonna go no audio on this. Yeah, we'll go no audio on this. Actually, we should do one. I'm gonna find one with the actual individuals in here. Everyone just jumps to... And now it's just the... No one videoed this thing! Oh my god. Here we go. No, this is a 40-minute video. Where's this This is the Gutai. Nobody wants to film the Evolution Toy one! Okay, we're just gonna look at Grandbird and the Great Combo, I guess. So there's another Firebird who is called Grandbird. So there's a bunch about this that I think is like fine, you know? There's a bunch about this that ain't the world's worst thing ever. Just gonna reorient my own windows here. You know, the nipple guy? This is the Gutai! Hang on. This is the only video? Okay, fine. We'll do this one. Okay, so here is Evolution Toys Grandbird. I could have sworn I clicked the one that said Evolution Toy. So here is what the thing... There are so few videos of this thing. No, we're doing the 8-minute. I'm not doing the 40. The 40-minute one is an actual spoken word review. This is from Yang Zhang, who is Korean, or at least uses the Korean alphabet. So already there's a funny thing here going on here. That's a spring. That's like a neat trick, but like that's a spring. That's just a giant spring. And to be fair, the Gutai Grandbird also is kind of flat on both sides. It has false parts that plug in to make the shuttle mode beefier, and you can remove them when you transform it to have the legs be slim, like in the anime. So to be fair, I think it, unless I'm misremembering. Does this actually have noises? Okay, this does have noises, so we'll leave the noises on. That's a slider joint that sounds like it's gonna die. Those of you watching along in chat, look out for the paint chips. Oh, gee, I didn't even think about that. Like, there's parts of this design that I think are fine. It's just that they're surrounded by, like, weird micro-finicky stuff. And then, don't look at the head. Okay, now we have to look at the head. The heads are designed to fit inside the helmets in a way that's less graceful than on the Gatai. Also, the Gatai makes the cannons, like, shrink to fit inside the forearms. The evolution toy is just like, what if there's just a big gap on the bottom of the forearms? Ha-ho, ha-ha. They each come with a dozen head option parts because of... Look at this! Ah! His teeny tiny little face. And then there's your slot to put the nipple in. That is the nipple. It is not golden, it is yellow. I think there's a whole saga about how you get the nipple to come back out afterwards. This music jump scared me. Excuse me for a moment. Yeah! And there is the other breaster. Is this music gonna keep playing? Don't give him a sizzle reel. I don't want this music to keep playing. I'm gonna mute it if this music keeps playing. This must be Firebird's anime off. Oh yeah, there's a... Oh, I forgot about... You have to hold the faceplate on while you put the new helmet on. It doesn't click. It's just you hold it in place and then slide the helmet on. Vaunted company that uses magnets, Evolution Toy. Not using magnets. It's just like a 10-second... This is driving me nuts. If this... if this doesn't go away soon. I'm at least turning it down. But there's the gun. You know, that's neat. Yeah, the faceplate being separate, it just doesn't seem necessary. You know, just drop a hat on. And there's the Evolution Toy Firebird. Works similarly, I believe. Alright, so we're gonna grate up here, I think. The freaking faceplate just falls off. Once again, video credit that we're watching here. This is Yang Zhang. Also, I think that the first two characters are the Korean characters for that. Anyway, this is some parts forming, but beyond the usual parts forming. Those are just... You just move the big pair of metal plugs. And the tiny head is sending me still. And so, like, this is gonna parts form, right? Because it turns into the upper body and then two shoes. Except you'll notice that it doesn't turn into the upper body, it's just split in half. So we're already doing something different here. Can you believe the MSRP of this thing is 44,880 yen? And you're saying that's just for Grandbird. See, after all that, you're... I know... Oh, yeah, you just pull these blocks out! And now they're the shoes! That's the other... Hang on, you gotta go back to see, in case you missed it. In case you missed it. In case you missed it. So we okay, just for Grandbird. Thank you, Boulder. Because he does this so fast. He does this so fast. He yank. Does he yank that block out? And if I remember correctly, you might be wondering, where do those blocks go? You throw them in the garbage. Because you don't do anything with them after this. Just yank them out. We're done. So I think we do get to see some of how this Firebird transforms. What's up, Eric? What's up, Strange4? Their Firebird is 80% diecast by some measurement for some reason. They go in the parts for... Also this! Yeah, hang on. So this is the other thing that I was like... I was... I completely missed this again. You might wonder, oh, I wonder how they fold the fins away. Just tear them off. Screw these. To hell with these fins. Get rid of them. Boulder says, Grandbird was 44,880. Firebird was 43,780. I want to watch that again. Hang on. Because if you got to listen to that noise that these things were making. I'm going to turn the sound back up because the music stopped, thank goodness. So yes, fly this on in. It doesn't sound good. And this was on the base Firebird. This is the first of the $400 purchases you made. Also, I know a bit about how the Gatai does this part, so it's very funny to see how this version does it, which is to say it doesn't. It's... Yep, point the toes, point the toes. Thank goodness you yanked those entire operating sections of Grandbird out of the shoes so they'll go in nice and easy. Also, the friggin' kneecaps. Hang on a second, I gotta go back. Like, the way that the giant floating gap between the kneecaps and then what are obviously the other kneecaps. And this part where the thighs just, those plates slide forward. Look at this! Look at this thing! Look at his proportions! Look at that! That's good stuff. Look at this friggin'... What's that shirt you're wearing, bro? What's that codpiece you're also wearing, bro? He likes beer, true. And yeah, you just hunk these arms on, and I feel like they just shoved onto a pair of cylinder pegs. Also, hold the faceplate on and put the hat on at the same time. Once again. Turn the music down. Obari! Oh no, not Obari, okay. Do a pose! That's not what I mean. Do a pose! Pose with the sword! I would like to see you pose with the sword, please. Here we go. Here's the... Yeah. Hang on. No, go back. I want to look at this. Obari! Yeah, wait a second. Where'd those knees come from? Yeah, Strange 4, I just realized he grew the kneecaps in. Where did they come from? The secret power of extra option parts. Oh, boy. Here we got alternate Obari pose. Oh no, this is like, not to get a little bit like recency bias, but like this is actually just as awkward and funny as the pose Kuro Karakuri Cyclonus is in with his Combiner War Silverbolt gun, where he's holding it in the same way, where he's holding it in front of him and then looking to one side, and it's like, that's not how you're gonna shoot that, right? We got spin. This you're not helping. This turnaround is not helping. Hang on, hide. We got to get this the proportional turnaround here. Like the raw pain of those arms trying to segment a pose. Funniest part about those option parts, they slot into the ports you plug the wings into. You can't keep in those leg wings without the tiny. This is a rear shot of rear shots. Actually, it's not that bad. The side shot's way worse. Yeah, the way that these arms are structured is intense. He looks like a Super Sentai suit actor robot. Actually, now that's making me like this more. Anyway, that's the video. In comparison, for those who got here just recently, this is the Gatai version of the, you know, the blue robot at least. What I can share, right? We can go exploring a little bit. I forgot how to get his hat off again. We gotta get that wiggle going. I'm not successfully getting that wiggle going. Oh. Where's my release switch for this part? That's what I'm asking. Lego. Lego. There we go. Whoa! I fired his nipple out. Don't worry, I'll fix it. I fixed it. Okay, so. There's a bunch of little thingamies about this that I have observed in video coverage. Nipple cannon confirmed. So I believe I can preview some of the interesting stuff this does on the torso. Just realized you're where I got thingamy from. You know what's messed up? I don't remember where I got thingamy from. You could say it's a thingaminigma. There are people out there that refuse to buy high-end toys. They're not. Yeah, I watched one English language video piece about the Gatai Firebird and Grandbird and the Great Firebird connection, and like the main critique that I heard in the video was like they should have put more hunks of die-cast in here, like the red should, like this should have been full of die-cast, to account for the weight of the upper half. And I was kind of like, you, what? No. What? Like, admittedly, like, I maybe am saying that a bit reflexively, right? But, like, I was kind of, like, taken aback at that criticism where I was like, you want this thing to be heavier? Because the top is heavier, you want the bottom to be heavier? And I get it, right? I think about it for a second. I kind of get how that is formed. But, like, I was like, that ain't it, though. You're gonna be looking at just a thing that's now heavy twice. Seeing Evo Toy Fibered again reminded me that CM's Corp Raijino has a step where they just tell you to bend the head crest. Oh god. Oh god. Anyway, the funny thing where there was like the big like kind of the pot belly look and everything. There's a way this deals with that. I forgot if you have to do this part as well. Yeah. So part of the way this deals with that is that this slides back. I don't know what this part does in tandem with... Oh, right. You're not supposed to know about this. So this reveals... That's the thing here. So that now the proportions are aligned to receive the big new chest and arms, right? And it's like, it's a little thing. But, having just looked at, the Evolution Toy version, I think it's interesting to see, like, the elegant solution present, right? The knees click out a little, do they? Oh! There's a whole ass C-clip in there! Oh, baby. Also, like, these two little double dashes here are actually receiving slots for a clip to... That whole thing, right, about the kneecaps, where it's like, where the hell did those come from? Right? They slide out just a touch. Oh, I probably shouldn't mess with this too much. This is where I don't know how this works. I see the mechanism, I think. Oh, yeah, I see. Okay. Yeah, they do that to line up with something. Oh my god, that covers... Hang on. So there's kneecaps, right? But when you do this... Look at how nice! Was I supposed to be doing that for this mode? Because that's really clean. That is for this mode. Okay, yo, Loki, that solves what I was fomenting as like one of my only critiques about this. Because I was like, well, this is a little bit sloppy. Like, there's no click point. But no, wow. Never mind. Yeah, the way it covers this little gunlet down here, like perfectly. Oh my god. Ugh. I like toys. It's also so they can reach Grandbird's knee extensions. Okay. Always cover your gunlet in mixed company. True. But no, if it is intended that I use these to offer that mistake, boy, yo, did you see this? Look at this. This, right, supposed to flip forward. Oh, kind of not floppy, but kind of messy, kind of sloppy. Has no precise locking point. Pull it out a little bit. Watch this geometry. Yo, check this out. Let me pull my face. Yeah. Mmm! I'm eating good today! Robot toy math is so fascinating. Oh, is it ever, though? I want to talk to Godbrave Studio. I want to know more about them as people. I want to know what they dream about. I want to know, like, how long they've hoped for this to be people making Yusha Firebird. Are you going to eat the gold guy? No! He's the nipple! Can't eat the nipple. The nipple has to function. Quote me on that. Yeah, that shoulder hinge thing is also just... The fact that it just feels like a solid joint. Very on the nose naming their company Godbrave Studio. Yeah, I know. It's... And then, like, Godbrave Studios president, like, his Twitter account, like, Sideswipe Prime was sharing it, like, his Twitter account has stuff, like, he takes a picture of Animus Machina Prediking, and it's just him gushing, going, like, make the other combiners, please! Please make more of the... Please! Please, Defensor! Please! And it's like, dog, you're the president of Godbrave Studio, like, you're already making... some of the coolest stuff, and then the dude's just such a Gutai nerd. He's like, but this one! This one, though! And then I'm like, he's me. He's me. He's... Because, yeah, he didn't make that one, so he wants more. Like, I don't own a toy company, nor do I know how to make toys, but, like, that's me with every official Transformers triple changer. You know, people have discourses about them. Oh, is this better than the last one? Oh, are there better versions of this? You know, Astro Train being the newest one, right? Blah, 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 blah. Lots of heavy, intense back and forth. Sometimes people fighting a little bit. And then there's me, right? Over in the corner going like, I want a triple changer. I want it. I want one. Thank you. I want it. That's like my entire thought process. Takara Tomy engineers making a triple changer. I want it. Thank you. Yeah, give me one. Thanks. And, like, that's all I got. Like, when it comes to, you know, all the various, very valid criticisms of the piece, like, my response, like, well, what do you say about this, or this? I'm like, well, it has 3 modes. I want it. And, like, that's as far as I go. Because, like, every official triple changer that's come out this century... made me happy in some way, and I don't really have like any real like, you know, discourse or defense for any, you know, X, Y, or Z thing they did. It's just they happen to make me happy, and I like to think that Godbrave Studio president is like that with Gutai, because, you know, with Animus Machina Prediking, expensive toy, very posable. You know, the individual robot modes suffer a little bit. Is it part of any kind of line, or is it a one-off thing? It probably is a one-off thing. So, you know, where does it fit? Blah blah, and then. President of Godbrave Studio, like, but it Gutai, I want it. And low-key, that's me too. I want it because Gutai. Everyone this century, yeah. I mean, like, I don't think we really had any new ones very early on. But, like, starting with Classics Astro Train onwards, I guess. Were there any from 2000 to 2005 that were triple changers? That were legit triple changers and not just, like, also you put a hat on it or something? I don't know. Was Tankor a triple changer? I forgot. Did that have a third mode? I can't remember. Yeah, I guess, like, yeah, if there's, like... attack modes, then I'm probably not thinking about them. Energon Scorponok was a triple changer. Cybertron Megatron was a triple... Jesus. Yes, thank you. I do like those two. But yeah, with like things like attack modes and with, you know, combination modes, I'm like not really thinking about those. And I'm also like not thinking third party. I'm just thinking like Takara Tomy engineered triple changers, or Takara engineered triple changers. Beast Wars 2 Galvatron, I like it. That's from before the year 2000, so I guess that falls outside my window I invented. Although, like, I don't really dislike any of the G1 triple changers either. I just think maybe some of them are kind of boring, but they're still funny fiddle toys. What a sentence. Beast Wars 2 Galvatron was last century. Just start murdering some more of the Usenet era Transformers fandom. No, Beast Wars 2 was... Because Car Robots was 2000. Because we spent like 5 years calling it TF 2000 because of some listing once. I was there for that. Oh, this does help with the sword poses. A relic of the late 1900s, Beast Wars 2 Galvatron transforms from kind of looking like a giant penis into a weird chicken into a guy with 2 hawk hens that break instantly. Car Robots Gigatron has 6 modes, so you double like it, right? Yeah, because when I was like a teenager and that toy came out, I was like, yo, he has evil purple wings and 2 swords because he's from anime and he can kick your ass. So I was way into it. Like, super into it. Like, don't underestimate how easy it was to make me like something because it, like, had coattails. Or wings. Firebird kick. But yeah, all that said, I don't really want to pay like retail price for Studio Series 86 Astro Train because retail price for a leader class in Canada is like $90. So, like, you know, I just hope I hope that everyone hates it so much that I can get one for super cheap because nobody wants it. That's how I also secretly win at liking triple changers. That's where I start taunting the fandom, going like, well, I hope that you also all do hate it this much, so that I can get one for $20. And if I can't, I personally hold every single person complaining responsible for not doing their part for their Oshi. To which some people will be like, I've never met you before in my entire life. And I'd be like, well, that's your fault. I bet you think the Pigeon meme isn't even from a robot show. Bringing it back around. Yeah, like, part of the reason why I like the Studio Series Astro Train robot mode is because it's so ugly that it, like, circles around, and he's so weird and gangly that I'm kind of into it. Like, he's like Weird Mario. Dark Red Wolf, kind of same. I rarely ever actually get to see Transformers on sale around here anymore. It's entirely online. And even then, it's only, like, on Amazon when I don't have money. And then when I do have money, they stop the sale because they hate me. So, you know, I just deal with it. I move along and I purchase the Gatai Firebird instead. I kind of want to turn him back into a jet again. I should probably end the stream soon, but also I want to turn him back into a jet. Maybe I'll do that first. I don't know, like, I'm not trying to, like, glaze up this toy. I gained nothing by doing that, but, like, surely it is a good statement about a toy like this when I'm like, hey, I kind of want to keep transforming it. What is Firebird from? I'm not joking when I say this. Firebird is from Firebird. He is from a show that was named Firebird, of which Firebird is the star. Listen, anime was pretty simple in the 90s when it was for shonens. It practically plays itself. It's just so good. Man. Clearly need to check I will check the Discord before I route. Do I do that before I finish turning him into a jet or not? Oh dear. Hang on. I'm gonna reload the browser window with the ammunition. Getting my ass TOS'd here. Oh, I'm not gonna play the flashing lights. Actually. Oh, triple changer minicons. I do like those triple changer minicons. I like the messed up gun mode, especially on this guy, this car. Hang on, I'm gonna flip over to that. I love this toy. I think that the gun mode is inspired because it's so mangled to enter that gun shape. There's something beautiful about it. So many bespoke motions just to look like that gun. I'm curious how that toy has held up over time, actually, because, like, you know, clear plastic discourse aside, like, you know, it kind of depends on the environment, but also, like, just two big-ass metal rivets through that is kind of like, ooh, ooh, ooh! Fans Hobby, why are you not remaking this one? Why are you doing Armada G1er stuff? Make me this guy. Then we also got demonstration of the aforementioned shoulder joints on the toy I'm playing with right now. And we got this comparison with original DX X Kaiser. I gotta do a video about that thing next time I'm out west. I have the reissue of it from, like, 2004 or whatever. And then we got this excellent moment from the anime Firebird. Thank you, Sunrise. What TOS? Nothing's wrong! Is that Noah Pat Labor? Possibly. They could have had a crossover. That's the Brave Revival version. Revival. Yeah, I have that reissue too. I remember that. The blue box. I don't know if I still have the box back out west. No, Strange 4, part of what makes this work is that the hand is not doing that is happening in your emoji. Anyway, back to making an airplane. Pre-orders closed for Land Bison. Yeah, I can't commit to doing... I gotta just play that by ear. I gotta play that by ear. This Firebird thing mostly happened due to a whole lot of circumstances like coming together in a very precise order. One of those circumstances being the delay of Pegasus Saber. It's only 52k yen. That's only 2 numbers. The K doesn't mean anything. Not to a real fan. Oh, I love the clickety-clack of that. Ugh. That's the same price as G2 Menace Sword? No way! There's no way! I know the price of that thing is a bummer, but no way! The K stands for Keep On Rockin', that's right. So thank you. I like doing old toy videos when I feel inspired to do so. And yeah, I think base modes are neat. Like base mode, you kind of obviously base modes often look like a dude in a funny posture on the floor, right? But like you kind of, if that's what we're focusing in on, I'm like, it's kind of like, you know, watching a bad movie and go like, well, that rubber mask looks a lot like it's made of rubber. It's like, yeah, bro, like I know. Is this the commentary, or is this we just stating what we're looking at, right? Not to start, like, you know, discussing quality of film discourse or anything. Which has better hand feel, Firebird or X-Kaiser and Dragon Kaiser? Difficult to say. X-Kaiser and Dragon Kaiser have a lot more just chunky clunk to them. Like, they feel very borderline kid safe. There are definitely elements of this where, like, I can see how you could break this if you're being super uncareful, but it also doesn't feel, like, terribly fragile. That said, there are parts of Toy Rise X Kaiser that are so tight that I kind of want to modify them a bit to be less so, because I'm worried I'm going to snap other parts trying to unclick the Great X Kaiser arm formation from the second hidden tab. That's just what I think. Oh yeah, G1 Fort Max's base mode kicks ass. Like, the silhouette is so good. Yeah, Emperor Nova, yeah. It's like, the Toy Rise one feels like a play toy. This one feels like a high-end DX. It's like, we're getting really granular on the sliding scale of this, like, and I think it's beautiful that, like, this gradiented scale of, like, in the umbrella of playable high-end, like, it is existing now. I think it's amazing. And then SOCX Kaiser is here too. Correct. Congratulate him. He did it all by himself. Yeah, these foot ratchets, there was no reason, no need. They just do it. What's up, T-Fan Page? Sports fans for real. Have you got your NFL Transformer hat on? I saw those things finally at an EB Games. They're expensive, I think. I got sea spray on my desk too. Solo Chigoku X Kaiser, I still will stand up for that project as far as being a very intriguing happening in this, our hobby. Much like I stand up for the existence of, what's his name, Megatron that everyone hates, that turns into a gun in a tank. That is kind of overly mean to Soul of Chigoku X Kaiser. I will stand by that statement too. I think that there is a gradient on that specific scale too. But it is a very particular scale. Did you like my name ideas? What? Oh, yeah. I'm really enjoying everyone. This sounds like I'm a teacher. I think everyone's doing a great job naming their football helmet Transformers. But no, I liked your name list. I saw that earlier while I was hanging out with my mom, who's visiting. Yeah, Bold Forms Gladius is, I still think a fantastic thing. I think that a lot of the critiques are on. I think that, like, there are far worse toys in existence than Bold Forms Gladius. Far worse? There are many worse toys than Bold Forms Gladius, in my opinion. I will pass along your greetings. My mom's doing alright. This is her first time traveling since the cancer thing. She's extremely ecstatic to have traveled here and to be wandering around Toronto. Like, it's, how do you put it? The mask-off moment. It's still pretty scary stuff, right? Inherently so. But in that context, she's doing real solid, and she made it here, and I think that's great. Oh, I'm going to be at the Toy Fair. I'm traveling to that at the end of the month, next month. But, I mean, I'm traveling to the... Just realizing what I'm saying. I am, in fact, traveling to the Toy Fair when the Toy Fair is happening. Like, what's up? We're here, we're existing on this plane of existence. That's why they call it the plane of existence, not the plane of not the plane of the booty. Oh, it's just really good. I don't know. I'm trying to think, do I have any like heartwarming messages I could pass along in light of how things have gone? But like, it's really just, you know, if you're in the fortunate position to enjoy the company of your biological relatives, right, and that it's a nice thing, then, like, you know, give them a hug and spend some time with them. It's worthwhile. And if you don't enjoy that company, and if things really aren't reparable, then, like, don't force it. Like, you know, stuff is everyone's situation, and I'm incredibly fortunate to have had some of the turns I've had in that sense. And then if you're out there manufacturing your own children, then treat them well and treat them as people, because one day you will need them to help you, most probably. And you're going to feel really stupid if you know, go through life in a way that makes your kids not want to talk to you. Yes, Manuel. Well, what would you call it? What would you? What is manufacturing not the right verb? Oh, your dad's doing chemo now. I hope it's going well. I know I'd messaged a bit about that. No, was that the same thing? I hope whatever I messaged you had been helpful in this situation as well. If this is different. Basically, it's there's a lot I've tried to send to people I know in BC, especially with regards to if you do have a relative who becomes very sick, especially with, say, cancer. It is not as straightforward as one might expect to have that treated, because there is, for most of them, there are a lot of, number one, there's a lot of cancers, but for most of them, there is one hospital in the entire province that can treat them. And if you don't live next to it, it is difficult to adjust for the sake of treatment. Okay, I'm glad she's fine now. Demi Gray Man says manufacturer. Listen. Glicksbird, Forge. I think Forge is putting a bit much on the kid. You know, when I look my child in the eye and I say you were forged, I am putting a destiny upon them that perhaps they did not ask for. But when I look my offspring in the optics and say, when we manufactured you, we were satisfied. I'm giving them a baseline to develop their own destiny from. These landing gear are baller, by the way. Totally related. You passed all the QC checks, child. Actually, that's super dark if we have QC checks. Constructed cold. See, so sired, right? Again, I think that puts a, like, regality to it where the child will feel like, well, I've got to... If I was not just born, but sired, then I have to live up to something. Whereas if you tell someone, when you were molded, you know, they're going to be like, oh no, I'm a fungus. Sort of touching on another subject, I think that, you know, we don't know what the future holds necessarily, but I'm pretty sure that the hope on the part of Godbrave Studio, at least, is to do but the fact that they did every single robot from Dagarn X of all series to finish first kind of tells me that, like, they probably got someone in-house somewhere to want to do every Brave robot to some degree. My child didn't pass the drop test. We're getting real dark now. Because that means your child exploded into potentially physically harmful shrapnel. And I don't know how to parse that. My child has no die-cast or ankle tilts. Trash child. At which point someone's like, what do you mean no ankle tilts? What? Now, if anyone told you there was a QC standard, it turns out that was a hoax from a competing company. Mistake Boy, correction, you don't know what the future holds. Clairvoyant Marmot knows what the future holds. True. This child is full of ratchet joints. It's like, no, you just keep pulling on everything too hard. That's disgusting. That's horrible. That's terrible. That's absolutely unacceptable. Don't say that. Once again, thank goodness in 2008, when I had much less of a taste filter, I went into wanting to express myself in media through toys, rather than trying to just be funny. Oh, the poor woman carrying the 80% diecast action toys child. Yeah. Also, if they're 80% diecast, the notable lack of biological flexibility probably makes the process much more turbulent. My child was born with lime green joints. Damn. My child, unfortunately, was constructed to not be a Vangelus fan. That hurts. What can I do to address this manufacturing debacle? Adoption is just third-party children. Damn, I can't argue against that, though. Yeah. I am 8 months pregnant with my 85% Gokin content daughter. I have eaten so much zinc. This can only go the way I think it will. I'm gonna put the seats back in now. There's a running change in the new children. Yeah, IP infringing kids. This one breathes fire. That's against spec. That's not supposed to happen. Do not eat the candy that came with your kabaya child. There are horrible things I could say to bounce off that, and I'm not, and I hope you're all proud of me! People ain't proud enough of me for not being terrible, said the average Twitch streamer. Am I wrong? The hubris of calling out Twitch streamers while doing a live stream on YouTube is in fact too terrible, and you should not be doing that. I will pay for this. Do they make gap fillers for children? Yowza. I don't even know how to parse that. Without it being kind of terrible. There is a version of me from the 2000s that none of y'all, for the most part, ever met, and it's better for everybody. Because, like, because I lived, you know, my funny, sheltered little life, I was just like, that's messed up. That's so funny! And, like, thank goodness, like, somebody eventually went, like, you ever heard this thing called empathy? I'm like, huh? There's people out there I haven't met? Anyway. Oh god, DNA design. The problem is their name is DNA design. So I can't not just start thinking of the worst versions of this. Genetically tailor your child to have more paint apps on their knuckles. Wait, do they make gap fillers for children? It's called dental. Braces. But then we also got it's called a diaper. Thoughts. My kid needs toy hack stickers. Got a promo code. Do I ever got a promo code for you? As you can see, it's... Hang on. As you can see, it's Creamy Vangelus for the month of April 2026, a month that's still ongoing right now. You can use this code for 15% off your order of anything off toyax.com. I'm gonna let you all know a secret. I knew that was gonna be the thing that popped up. I did that as a bit. I'm learning. I'm getting better at this whole I'm a stream on internet thing. Are you proud? Are you proud of me now? Are you proud of me? They said I'm clippable. Yes, we're proud of you. That's why I said +2. Learn the language. Could use more humor, but sure. Thank you. Supporting the channel feeds the child too true. Perhaps too real. I got a -2, but I got at least 3 +2s. That's a +4 total. I know math! Vangelus, what are your thoughts on the tiny little gnome that runs across computer screens? I think we gotta let, like, people in trades do their damn jobs, okay? Like, we gotta stop harassing them. Just because we don't get it, maybe that's on us to, like, learn, you know? -67. Who started teaching people there's other numbers they can push? This is supposed to be forbidden knowledge. Fist out, then close the door. Speaking of math, it's bedtime. Have a good night. Have a good night, Alexis Silver. I'm gonna let you on another secret. I genuinely just went looking inside that hole to see if they sculpted, like, little hydraulic pistons or anything, because I'm having a moment. There were none. I was trying to give some advice to someone to help them, like, sleep on a long airplane flight recently. Context clues are fake. Nobody's ever heard of those. That's something someone made up. My advice, I thought, was pretty good. I'm still very proud of it. So I'm going to pass it along to all of you. I was like, here's the thing. Like, if you're having trouble, like, being able to relax on a flight, and you need to, like, you know, try to zone out, maybe even, you know, get some sleep, just, like, lie back and close your eyes and envision exactly one slug crawling up the side of a wooden fence. And just envision their entire journey up the side of the wooden fence and over the top and then down the wooden fence. And you're going to fall asleep before you see that slug return to the ground. And apparently it helped, you know, it helped a little bit. Did not help in terms of causing sleep to happen, but it did apparently help a little bit. I'm very proud of myself. I made that one up myself. And if I don't, well, you know, as John Wick once said, consequences. What if you don't like slugs? Listen, I'm not here to fix everyone's problems, alright? I'm doing my best. Bringing slug on plane to let loose in cabin mid-flight, got it. Yeah, pretty much, more or less. Instructions unclear, salted the slug. No, do not salt the slug. Do not pour salt. Do not, your eyes. Do not slug your eyes. Slug your eyes. Your eyes. Pour salt in your eyes. Now, someone out there gets it, right? Someone out there knows what I just did? Surely. Mistake boy, that's assault. I've been friggin' mugged on my own stream. What was that thing Danny said? You're killing your eyes, man. You're killing, what did Danny killing? Killing your, my eyes, eyes, Danny, killing, kill Danny. That's like one of my little tests to see if, like, the culture needs to be repaired, is like, can we do the salt in your eyes bit and have at least one person recognize what's happening? If so, the culture is fine and we can proceed. I like the idea of being able to say, like, well, in late April of 2026, internet user Vangelus looked at the entire world and said, the culture is fine, we can proceed. People are like, are you sure? Because I kind of feel like... And like, he said the culture is fine. We can proceed. There we go. However, if nobody recognizes the Danny bit, the culture is flawed. We can revert. Nobody can prove I'm a cannibal. Nobody can legally prove I am a cannibal. One of my favorite things to say. When I meet a hinge date the first time, I like to sit them down and say, hey, listen, hey, thanks for meeting up here. I really appreciate it. Boy, what a crazy world we live in. Don't worry, nobody can prove I'm a cannibal. So what do you do? Someone clip that too. What? Oh, I'm blushing. Hey, Mom. You'll never believe it, but like 2 times after I went to do my stream, the people, they said I'm clippable. They said I'm clippable. Frankly, thank you, Mistake Boy, thank you. A lot of people... It's really weird how many people start to not believe you when you just tell them. You try to tell them in advance before, it's confusing. That you are demonstrably not a cannibal and you can legally prove it. And they're like, actually, I got somewhere to be. And it's like, well, why? This clip's going up on the E-fridge. Did you know, I think I've said this before, in case anyone hasn't heard this, when Derek Wyatt drew the little picture of me in animated style, eventually... after I'd come to Toronto, I found out later when I visited back home, my mom got the highest res version of that and then printed it on really nice paper and framed it and hung it in my old bedroom, and it is still there and it's adorable. It's like, check it out. That's my son. He's a cartoon. That was not a commission. That was Derek Wyatt drawing me in a picture of other characters as part of an April Fool's bit, and I found out when he did it. I found out it existed when he posted it, and that was interesting. Ignoring the part where I'm in the photo, the purpose of that picture was it was a whole bunch of characters, and the whole bit was... Here's a bunch of characters. Some of them are in the next season of Animated, and some of them are not. So there was like a bunch of stuff in there. And then he wanted to put you in the cartoon, and the scene was deleted. True. However, I got to finally return as Man Who Has Pumpkin in Kian Carlisle's version of one of the deleted scenes. And it wasn't the one that's in the burger joint, but all that was in the script was Man with Pumpkin, and so... The best part is that also was a surprise to me. All I knew was Kian was like, hey, Vangelus, can you record me this line where you're talking about needing to get to an airport? And then at the panel, I got called out, and then he showed the clip, and I was like, well, that's so cool. Apparently Man with Pumpkin, if I recall from the panel, Man with Pumpkin had no model and no description. It was just Man with Pumpkin. So the decision was made to, like, match Man with Pumpkin with the Vangelus character model, because, like, that's funny. And I was like, okay, yeah. That is pretty cool. And now Kian has an animated pilot out for an original series. In case people don't know, that the Kian Carlisle animation machine has not been churning along as they slowly run through every last remaining shred of animated to animate. This is such a damn friggin' cool friggin' robot friggin' toy. My god damn it. It's... did you see he made a comeback from it? No, I didn't. I mean, I see him on Blue Sky doing, like, talking about board game stuff. I didn't know he put up a video. I gotta go take a look. I gotta go pester him. Witness the beginning of a Kian universe. Thing is, that is pretty funny. I recorded a video, I think I'm still going to put it up. It's just a short little thing. It's kind of out of nowhere. But I got my final package for the foreseeable from the Board Game of the Month Club that Button Shy Games does, because they're shuttering all non-USA shipments because it's just obliterating them on the back end. So I understand it, but there was a bittersweet moment when I got the final package, and so I filmed a little, like, talky bit about it, and I think I mentioned Pial like 400 times, because he's always posting images of doing his dailies on one of the Button Shy games, and I see him in the Button Shy Discord constantly. They're the folks who do those wallet games, the 18-card wallet games. They're implementing some changes, all for the better, but the downside is that also means it is even more impossible for them as a small operation to ship things internationally. The new video was about Button Shy games. I still got it! Now I really gotta take a look at it. I want to know what he's talking about. Still have that crossover video you did with PR for TF Prime Starscream. That was so fun. I'm really happy I get to do, like, funny little collabby things again. Be it like those big, like, Dr. Lockdown things, or like the fun bit with Lai. I got to figure out another Diaclonic collab. Don't tell her I said that. Just tell her I talked about her. And then leave it up to her to comb through the 3-hour stream to figure out what I said. Completely normal behavior on my part. I should probably close up soon. I'm just sitting here turning this toy into a robot and a jet back and forth over and over again because it's incredibly good. Thought she was here. I don't know. I decided to call the bluff that she is in fact not here. Dumb Jake collab for his inevitable brave review. I'd be down. Review Beast Wars Pregnant Canine. I mean, old toys like that could survive getting kicked down a staircase, I'm pretty sure. Rip blip. Yeah, my old blip videos, someone asked about this actually recently somewhere, I think on Instagram. Those are, in case folks have ever wondered and didn't hear it, I didn't save, like, exported versions of those. I have all the working files buried on some hard drives. They're all on old versions of old Final Cut and would basically need to be 60% re-edited from whatever imports. And then the other thing you'd have to deal with is the part where I start to look at a very old video I made in an active editing environment and go like, oh, well, that's bad, I should fix that. And then they'll just never come out. That's the big problem with all my old blip videos, is I'm going to sit there being a hindsight perfectionist, which is the worst thing you could ever do with something that you've made. Need to post some of your Vines. I hope I still have some of my Vines on a phone folder somewhere. My Vine era was kick-ass. A lot of people missed out. I'm going to say it. Not to have a friggin' massive ego about my Vine era, but my Vine era kicked ass. My DS9 Vines were friggin' choice. People didn't understand what they were missing until Vine died. Actually, no, Vine is still there. You can still watch them, can't you? Yeah, like, I'm not gonna say it was, like, you know, what a vision the people who invented Vine had, but, like, there was something really neat about the 6-second looping medium specifically. But yeah, most of what I did on Vine was either recording my TV while I watched DS9 the first time, or a bunch of Machinima Transformers goofs. Because those series were terribly produced. And that was the way I had fun with them. Didn't they say Vine was making a comeback? What I recall is somebody in the position to do so said, we're bringing back Vine. But it was in, like, the most, like, I am highly suspicious of everything that you stand for kind of way they could do it. So I kind of stopped looking at whatever they were talking about. Yeah, Bink Bink. My favorite coda to all of the Machinima Netflix series that the dude, what's his name, show ran, was when whatever his name that I actually have genuinely forgotten. Like didn't yell at, but like got real passive aggro with someone on Twitter who mentioned not liking those series like years later. I'm half remembering an anecdote here, but like there was a really weird interaction with that showrunner and like somebody who was just like, these weren't very good. DeSanto, that's his name. Yeah. A strange, insecure moment. And, like, I'm strange and insecure a whole lot of the time, but, like, I don't have my name attached to a thing that showed on Netflix, so I feel like there's a slight divide, at least for now. It's nothing worth, like, turning into, like, what did this man do? Because, like, it doesn't matter. It's... Like, in a very, like, broad sense, I actually very much support the creators of medias on the internet who post on the internet. I very much support having, with obvious, you know, obviously within reason, quote-unquote, right? I support not being super kind to people who watch your stuff if they annoy you. I guess it's sort of like the old Twitter Kamiya bit, right? But like, what was it for Spring? We were talking about this, like the Gooseworks stuff, where like Gooseworks has this quote of like, "Sometimes I lie for fun," right? And I'm like, no, that's good though. Like, let creatives who own things that are beloved also be like weird, riddle entities. Vine is not in a watchable state. Oh, man. You know, whatever, that game dev whose, like, whole thing was like, don't talk to me in English or I'll block you or whatever. Like, someone who probably would be really irritating to have a conversation with, but, like, as a bit, I'm like, hey. That's kind of neat. I probably got his name wrong. That means I'm probably blocked. I didn't get his name wrong. I'm not blocked. Hooray! You celebrated. Now you're blocked. Damn it! Speaking of which, the whatever thin-skinned blue sky vibe coder. Apparently, I found out I'm one of the ones who got blocked. I'm one of the, what was it, 18,000 to 36,000 accounts the guy blocked all of a sudden. I don't even know what I did. Yeah, mistake boy. Those fine folk can tinker away at the most beautiful media, craft. I don't ever need to interact with them, and that's beautiful. It's 300k now. Okay. I apparently underestimated. I was explaining the vibe coding thing to my mom and my brother today. It's a really weird thing to say out loud. A really weird story to relate out loud. Oh, you subscribed to an anti-AI block list. I don't even know what I mean, I can think of plenty of things I probably did to get on that block list. Yeah, Cygnus 7, as great Harada of Tekken fame said, quote, "Don't ask me for shit," end quote, and that is the way. He also apparently unblocked everyone, so he probably got yelled at. Wow. So the one thing that, like, if you care enough, right, to want all of those people out of your worldview on your main, probably the worst thing you could do, because I kind of assume that the Blue Sky devs are incredibly thin-skinned when, you know, receiving such response. Probably the worst thing that dude could have done is unblock everyone and then eradicate his notifications. But that's also pretty funny. Also, I want to say it, I think it sucks that, like, the phrase vibe coding has this connotation, because it does sound like 90s cyberpunk jargon. It should be a cool word. Can we take back vibe coding? Yeah, unfortunately, vibe coding sounds cool AS, which is kind of like AF, but different. There's a lot of things we should take back. Listen. not to get existential about it, yeah. My favorite half-remembered part of that whole story was the long debate. Were we DDoSed or were we vibe coded? And then the end reveal was like, both! And it's like, yeah, perfect. Excellent. That's actually how I would have written it. You're on my wavelength now. We're gonna take back Sunday. Hell yeah. Adam Rockmore, I have officially built an entire Lego Eevee on stream. Hell yes. I just wanted to try using one of the cool hands. That's like the small sad part about this toy is they provide you with a rack of hand swaps that are more, you know, anime accurate and proportional and make this look more like a robot action figure. And it's like, yeah, but they don't transform. I don't actually want them. Oh, man. I'm grumbling, because, like, I knew I was going to like this. I knew I was going to like this piece. But it's so friggin' cool. There's Midnight, what's up? Toy Rise Genesis Gaugagar, one of the best figures I've handled. I like it better than the Good Smile Gut Ties. I want to get my hands on a Toy Rise Gaugagar, hopefully by the end of the year, but I'm not sure if I can pull it off. I will take my static fist with whole hands and be happy with how they work. This year, my fun money is kind of just completely bending and warping around Pegasus Saber. That is the story of my fun money this year. This friggin' does a naturally cool sword guy pose. It's unfair. It's unfair. Glixberg, the upside of wanting to watch Brave is that a ton of it is just around now. So that's actually a very doable thing. Unless the quality is so bad that the embedded subtitles are barely readable. That will impact your experience. I don't want to put that hand on right now. I am going to chicken out. We're going back to the Kanzen Henkei hand. Saw a dude using Soul of Chogokin Dragonar hands with 144 Gundam kits blue tacked on for poses. Those hands are really well sculpted. Ooh. I forgot they did Dragonar. Unless I'm just, like, yes-anding way too hard, but I'm pretty sure they did Dragonar? Or am I thinking of the High Metal R? Don't take... I will misremember things as Soul of Chogokin very easily, so don't take me as the gospel on that. Oh, also, yeah, as Backcorner's saying, Brave series have nothing to do with each other. So, don't just, if you think one looks cool, much like with Tokusatsu, if you think one looks cool, just watch that one. I'm in love with posing this thing. This is just a repeat of, like, what happened when I unboxed, deboxed Toy Rise King X Kaiser, and I was just doing, like, this kind of pose for, like, 4 hours. The Manga Brave crossover, that's the reward, or the temptation, for actually watching all of them. Okay, it was Soul Chogokin Spec Dragonar opening silhouette. Okay, okay. Oh, look at this! Look at this freaking cool this looks! God damn it! Mmm. 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 Surely some of you were like those of you who have been dabbling in Cardbot as your first experience with Godbrave Studios. Surely you went through this as well. Surely. Forgot to drink my drink. Yeah, get that guy. Get him. Get that guy. Yeah, get him. Get that guy. You got it, senpai. Get him. Yeah, that guy. Get him. Get him. Oh, senpai! Which one is better? Let me determine this the way that all of us YouTubers determine this. Hang on a second. Where did I put it? There we go. Okay. Okay. Odds, evens. Firebird's better. Science doesn't lie. Oh, toys are good. Like, imagine going like, I'm gonna be a space villain, and then friggin' these two just show up, going like, we heard there's a space villain. Like, what kind of dummy, what kind of absolute like silly behavior, silly decision making would lead you to that kind of situation? Where you're like, I'm gonna be a space villain today. Let me set up my space villain super base. Oh, there's a knock at the door, and you open the door, and it's these two. And you're just like, oh, that was pretty stupid. What a bad decision I made. Terrible decision. Mistake Boy knows what I'm talking about. Every day I declare that I'm going to be a space villain. Well, this is why we stopped, though. You know what I mean. It's like, I'm going to be a space villain. Uh-oh. Swords. Again. And a lion on a chest. Why does that keep happening? Super Sentai villains would be idiots about this. Anyway, yeah, not to like, you know, give away the goose necessarily, but if you, why is it always swords? Why is it always one cut? Why do my robots always, like, divide like silly putty? Not very dark woke of you! Also, Brave Job Brothers is, like, a whole lot to process. What is a brave job? Not to give away the goose. Which remains trapped with me for this, this time that we persist in right now, in the here and now. But if you watched that short I did for JP fans, there will be a sequel to this stream whenever that package shows up. But I also need to figure out how to tie that into the unboxing video they want. So it might not be a deboxing stream, but there will be a stream where we sit around and look at robots go clang clang. And click click and have a good time. I thought it was a pigeon. Yeah, the pigeon's in there too. The pigeon's in there too. Actually, what I specifically said in the script was a certain kind of rare bird. But yeah. I think that might arrive by Friday, but I'm not sure. It depends on whatever EMS does, right? A Glen bird, perhaps. I mean, maybe. Could be anything. Could be anything. As Forrest Gump once said, life is like a box received from a Japanese mailing address that has a toy robot in it. Emergency medical services, correct. They ship toys now. They ship toys. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not doing that. They ship toys now. Nope, wasn't worth it. What is worth it is thanking you all for joining in on watching this stream, or its VOD. That's loud. I thought that was going to be quieter. That's better. Take it easy out there. Stay safe. Wish my mom well. I'm not going to be polite about that. Wish my mom well. Yeah, I will catch you all later. I'm probably going to stream again next week. I don't know that I'll have time to do another one this week. Because I want to hang out with my mom. But next stream is probably going to be a sequel to this one if the mailing system works the way I think it will. If it isn't, then hey ho, what do you know? I don't know. I know me. What do you, human? I bet. Stinking, humies. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Where's that friggin', we're gonna give yourself time to be a pervert now and then. Worth it. That's right, sports cappers. This truly was the Brave of Sun by Bird.
Let them come.